Okay, now we're back here. The cord wouldn't reach where I had it, so I decided to relocate here to the room with my computer. So it said you need like a piece of paper to level the bed. So I'm just gonna, well, maybe if let me go grab the scissor and I'll cut the piece of paper so it's not so big. Because I was just thinking if it hangs over the bed, that might be a bad idea. But here's our piece of paper. Let's see, it's about like yay big. So let's cut about that much off. There, that ought to do it. Let's turn it on and hopefully it all works. Yep, there goes our little screen here. I'm gonna grab it and see what it tells me. There's our little screen here. And now, the one thing it said here is that we want to get it into leveling mode. Level. Confirm. And now you'll notice, I don't know if you can read that because the sun's pretty bright, but it says the nozzle temperature is increasing and the bed temperature is increasing. They have to get up to 140 and 60 degrees. And now I'm starting to hear the little fan in the nozzle kick in. And as you can see, both of them are increasing rapidly. And yeah, it's gonna be a couple of minutes here while our nozzle warms up. Oh wow, nozzle's already up to 119, 121. And bed is already up to 40. I guess the bed's heater is a little bit slower. Now the nozzle's already up to heat, but the bed is still getting up to heat. Bed is only at 45 degrees. Yeah, you could feel some heat from that too. Machine will heat and bed and nozzle to specified temperature, please wait, is what it's saying. So 10 more degrees on the bed. Nozzle is where it's supposed to be. Bed's got 7 degrees to go. And it's only got 5 degrees to go now. As I said, I doubt you can even read this because it looks, on the camera it looks really bright. 2 degrees. 1 degrees, and we'll see what the printer does now. Now you see it's moving itself. Oh wow, now it's coming down. Wow, it can actually build that high from what I understand. I don't know if I made mention of it in the beginning, but I would often watch Uncle Jessy's videos about 3D printing. So that's where I kind of got my start of what's going on here. And I almost had bought a Neptune 2S, but I held off. And then the Neptune 3 here was announced. And yeah, I pre-ordered one. It came a little while ago. I had to wait on the filament bundle for a while. And yeah, here we are. Oh, okay, I'm back now. Hopefully I figured this out. The cable that's like down right over here wasn't plugged in. It was actually under the hotbed. It just shows you like every cable that needs to be plugged in, although most of them are already plugged in. It looks like only the 2 on the front and back of this post here need to be plugged in. Would have been kind of nice to have, hey, just plug in these 2 and that's all you got to do, but they didn't think somebody dumb like me would be doing this, so let's see if we can get this going now. But let me get the bed thing back on here, right? Wow, that's really a tight magnetic grip. Okay, maybe, perhaps, probably not. Yeah, that looks good. And now the third time's the charm, hopefully. It's probably that extra sensor wire wasn't hooked up and that caused it not to work. Let's see if we level now. Calibrate the bed. Yeah, nozzle went all the way down to 61. And now it's going back up again. Bed stayed at about 50 degrees or so. And hopefully if this calibration goes right, we'll put the memory card in there and yeah, hope our rest of our printing adventure here is smooth. Okay, looks like, yeah, we're just about there. I don't know if you can see that, but just about at the right temperature. And hopefully now it's going to actually calibrate and I can try my first 3D printing. The little light's on over here too, so that's good. You would think the printer itself would have had a failsafe, so it would have been like, hey, there's a cable not plugged in right, fix that before I do anything. But I guess we're not that sophisticated yet. Okay. And now I hope it doesn't just start grinding on the thing like it did before. Not getting my hopes up like the last 2 times. Hopefully that means the bed is calibrating. Yep, it's actually moving now, so that's good. It's actually over there. I don't know if my paper should cover the whole thing or what. But it's actually doing something now, so I like this. We'll just keep an eye on this and hope everything works well. Looks like everything's okay, I hope. Probably going to do this for a little while, I'd imagine. As it said, it has 16 points to calibrate. As you can see, it has numbers here. I'm gonna guess that these are what level we're at. And by it calibrating, it's going to fix that. Numbers are changing on the actual display here. So hopefully that means we're good. Now it's almost to the back of the bed. And I really don't know what any of these numbers mean. So, hopefully it's doing what it should be doing. Now it's back to the center again. Don't know how long this is going to take, so I might have to cut the video out at some point. A couple of the numbers are negative, so I don't think they have to do with like how high or low the bed is. That wouldn't make sense if it was that out of whack. Hopefully it's still leveling. It's still kind of just sitting there. But right now it's kind of just sitting there. So I think I'm gonna leave you here and see what happens, and I'll get back with you as soon as possible here. Well, I was reading the instructions while I was just kind of sitting there in the middle, and it turns out it said no other operation shall be done while it's, let me see if I can get the paper out, yeah, while it's still doing it. It said when it gets to the middle of the platform, then it's like ready to go. So it got to the middle of the platform. Once I exited out of the thing, it did exactly what it's here, and it's like in the corner of the thing, maybe it's like ready to print. But I'm going to put the memory card in here, load that tester reel of PLA, and see where we're going here. I remember somebody said that you had to load the memory card upside down on some of these for some reason. We're just going to use our test thing of PLA here. And then when I get the first test print done, then maybe I'll do some like serious prints. And it's actually just like this plastic, the only way to describe it is it's like plastic string, if you will. And what I gotta basically do is get these twist ties off so this can be fully unfurled, and we could do our first little test print here, hopefully, and not have any problems. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. Okay. Sounds like a very hollow, dry plastic, basically. So I'm gonna just take it like I've seen people do in their videos. Take the thing here, put it on the spool thing, because that's what a lot of people tend to do when they're using this bit of PLA. I know I can just use one of my spools that I got with the Neptune 3 bundle, but might as well use what they gave me here. Put it on the spool thing here. Maybe kind of just unfurl it here, and hopefully that does the job. Now, and I think that's it. So let's go ahead and see if the 3D printer will actually print now. Now, we're gonna go here. The one that everyone does is this Buddha one. And then there we are. It's got to get up to its speed, and then it's gonna, just like when I did the when I did the initial leveling, it had to do all this stuff, and then it would do what it's got to do. So it's got to get the hotbed up to 55%. And then I guess once everything is up to the proper temperature, we'll start actually 3D printing here. Actually, wait, there's a print button on the top. I'm dumb. No, it's not a button. But yeah, here. Now it started its fan. I guess this is the hot end temperature because it's only up to 83, 86 now. So it's probably got to heat the hot end, and then it can start to extrude the filament. So I'm going to try to capture as much of this as possible, and maybe try to do one of those like cool time lapses showing it printing really fast. No, my videography isn't as sophisticated as some of the YouTubers who do 3D printing stuff. But then again, this is my first ever 3D printer. Okay, we're at 154 degrees, 159. And hopefully, once we get up to 205 degrees, I guess the actual G code for the print model has the, has the settings dialed into it. And it looks like it's counting the time that it's taking, but you know, it hasn't started yet. But I guess it considers like prep time as time to print. And there's a little Z here that says 4.9. I guess that's the Z code version that it's using. That'd be my guess. And if this actually does start 3D printing, I'm probably gonna like zoom in the camera and everything. Oh, something's happening. I'm gonna just connect that back to the deal here. Well, I did that feed thing, and it didn't feed because it tells me to click the feed, but it doesn't say where the feed. After the nozzle is preheated, click the feed, extrude the filaments from the nozzle. But it doesn't tell me like exactly how I'm supposed to do that. Let's just see if it actually prints this time or not. I'm a little bit confused as to what's going on here. So maybe we'll actually get a 3D print one of these days. Okay, looks like the bed's heated up and the extruder is getting there. Hopefully it's actually loaded the filament and it's actually going to print. Okay, looks like we're at the right temperature, so hopefully it actually does something now. Oh wow, some actual filament came out of the printer. Maybe we actually got it this time. Figuring something should be starting soon. Okay, it's moving. Yeah, filament actually came out of the thing, so I think we might actually have it this time. Maybe. I'm not getting my hopes up, but you never know. This is more than it's done before. So maybe we actually are gonna have a actual 3D print and I didn't somehow kill the thing by putting it together wrong. So I guess what it does is it tries to print regardless of if your filament's there or not. So if you're not quite there, you're just going to have your printer just being all kinds of crazy and just going back and forth. I'll most likely cut out all those times that I couldn't get the silly thing printing if this works. But it's a good sign that there's actually filament that came out of the extruder, so I feel a little bit better about that. Okay, it's definitely doing. Yeah, it's printing now. I'll go ahead and get you a closer look at this. Let me just pop the camera off the tripod, move the tripod out of the way, and I'll let you see what this looks like. Zoom out, and then here we go. See, it's actually printing now. It's making the little Buddha, which I hear takes like 40 minutes or so. So, yep, there's our first 3D printing, which is on its way. This was a long and arduous journey to get this working, and I didn't fully understand what was happening every step of the way, if you will. But yeah, there it goes. It's doing its deal. You know, getting things done. And yeah, 3D printing finally on our Elegoo 3D printer here. So, suffice it to say, it's a step in the right direction. Just keep an eye on that for a minute, I'll be back. Oh, it's right there. I'm just gonna probably go ahead and cut this footage and go ahead and film the rest of this on my phone, because it'll come out a little bit better. So I'm gonna just bid you adieu here and get back. as you can see, after just a little over an hour and like 10 minutes, like an hour and 13 minutes, the print is now done, and there's the little Buddha figurine. So let me see if I can get this off the print bed. Oh wow, that's still really hot. Here it is. And well, that actually does look really good. I don't know if you can really get that on the camera, but yeah, there it is. Does it just, yeah, it just came right off. There we go. Little Buddha figurine. My first ever 3D print here. I'm gonna unzoom the camera now. And then I'll try my very best to put the print bed back on. But first I'm gonna see if I can get this off. Okay, it just comes right off. It's just a little thing of plastic that it kind of built around it. I don't know why. And I think a lot of people, the way they do this is they just take this and kind of do one of these. And then just kind of put it on there. Let me see if there's any other things on here. Neptune assembly tutorial 3 model. No, there's nothing other than the Buddha. So we're gonna have to, for future 3D printing videos, I will check to see what other models I can get. Like maybe try one of those Enjiys that everyone does so much. But first 3D printing experience, not too bad. A couple of caveats here and there. I'd missed that little cable underneath the print bed, and didn't realize you had to push the filament all the way in. You had to change it to PLA on this, because if not, it only went up to 170 degrees and it wasn't hot enough for the PLA. But other than that, so far so good. Hopefully we'll have more good 3D prints after this. But well, this has been another Game Nexus video, and I shall see you later. What I would probably do with this video is just make a condensed down version that's only like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and then make a really long version if everyone wants to watch that. Bye.